Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Tuesday, April 1st. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Jeremy Goyer may look like a typical 14-year-old boy, but stand next to him and you may feel a little small and find yourself looking up, way up. At 14, he's 7'3" and counting.
When I walk somewhere, everybody look at me and say, wow, you're so tall now.
But where he really gets attention is on the basketball court. He's been playing since he was 6. Already at that time, he was well over 5 feet tall. Coach Daniel Malumba first spotted Goyer at a U14 tryout and says he couldn't believe what he saw.
He's young, he's actually 10 years old, and he was already like 6'5". I was actually surprised, okay, so I see that's potential. That's actually interesting. See, if he's 6'5" at 10 years old already, then that's definitely something that we could do.
An old saying in basketball that you can't teach height. But there are a lot of skills to learn. And for the last 4 years, former player Malumba has been working one-on-one with Goyer to get him where he needs to go.
His greatest assets, beside him being tall, is actually his work ethic, and he's really competitive.
Goyer is in the sport-études program at École Secondaire Georges Vanier in Laval. But his coach says he's likely to make a move in the next few years to compete in the U.S. or Europe. Keeping him grounded is his family, who has been with him every step of his basketball journey. His father, Felix, says while there's some height in the family, Jeremy is a towering exception.
We did have a bit of concern at the beginning, but we did put him through a number of tests over the years, and everything always came back negative, so we assumed that it was his genetics.
At 242 pounds with size 20 feet, Goyer still isn't done growing. He says it's not always easy to stand out.
Sometimes I would like to be like 5 foot, like to disappear, but I prefer to be 7 foot and prefer my sport.
And he's putting in the hours to make it to the next level. His father says they don't want him to feel pressure.
Honestly, whether he gets there or not, I just want him to like what he's doing.
Taking a big shot to one day get to the NBA. Denise Roberts, CTV News.
19-year-old Robin Coleman is training for her biggest event yet, continuously swimming 106 kilometers in open water.
I'm a bit nervous, mostly happy nervous. It's a long distance to think about mentally.
Swims of this magnitude aren't very common. It's one of the longest swims in the world.
Robin is hoping to set a Guinness World Record as the fastest female to swim the length of Okanagan Lake. She'll be swimming from Vernon south to Penticton in June, something her mom Crystal says won't be easy.
We've split it into 7 legs, but it's a continuous swim around the clock. We expect, based on her pacing, it should be around 70 to 72 hours of continuous swimming.
The swim has only been done by Adam Ellenstein, taking him 41 hours in 2016. No woman has completed the entire distance to date.
I think my biggest hope with the Guinness World Record title is that, you know, I do the swim, I get the record, and then in a few years, somebody else, another woman, tries the record. And even if they take it from me, I'm going to be so honored because that means that they saw my swim.
Robin is using the record title attempt to raise $10,000 for the Heart and Stroke Foundation, a charity close to her heart. At 12 years old, she suffered a stroke.
So it was a scary time for us, and it was something that she didn't even realize. She had to learn how to talk again, how to walk.
Years later, she's back in the pool and stronger than ever. Robin says being in the pool helped her recover.
I love swimming, I love open water swimming, and I'm so excited to take on like this challenge and to get to do it with kind of my family and friends around me.
A challenge that's been years in the making, but something Robin is ready to swim towards this summer. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
The story is still unfolding when it comes to tariffs on Canadian books.
Everybody's in a state of anticipation. Some people are more worried than other people.
Come Wednesday, if the U.S. imposes more tariffs on Canadian goods, Canada is looking at its own retaliatory tariffs, and Canadian books are on the list. Ben McNally, an independent shop in downtown Toronto, says the book industry is like the auto sector, intertwined. Books already have two prices, one Canadian, the other American. And many books written in Canada are printed in the U.S., and some U.S. books are printed here.
We've got all of our books have prices on them already. So if prices go up, we're going to have to figure out some way, some mechanism whereby we can, make that palatable to our customers.
Earlier this month, the Canadian Independent Booksellers Association, along with Indigo Books CEO Heather Reisman, expressed, quote, profound concern in a letter to the Prime Minister. We respectfully urge you to exempt books from these tariffs immediately, it said. For generations, our trade agreements with the United States have recognized the exceptional cultural and educational value of literature by keeping books tariff-free.
What we do know is that the profit margin on books is slim, and at no part of the supply chain can we absorb a 25% tariff. So devastating for publishers, devastating for booksellers, and hard to imagine that it wouldn't pretty quickly lead to an increase in book prices.
Staff at Ben McNally say it's important to figure out the tariff situation once everyone knows what it is, adding that after being in the book business since the 1970s, post-audiobooks and the COVID-19 pandemic, it is resilient.
People have been projecting the doom of the book for almost as long as I've been in business. So it's still here, we're still here, and we'll figure out some way to get books to readers. Hardcover fiction.
The federal government tells CTV News it welcomes input from stakeholders on countermeasures to U.S. tariffs, and any relief will be granted on a case-by-case basis. It's not known yet if Ottawa will turn the page on books. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
It's empty now, but in 3 months, Riverside Park in Cambridge is expected to be filled with people celebrating Canada Day.
And we'll anticipate throughout the day having a migration of about 30,000 people.
The festivities won't be new. In fact, they've become a tradition here.
What's the parade on King Street? And then we go down to the park.
But this year, for the first time, the party will be organized by the city instead of by a special Canada Day committee.
With administrative abilities and raising costs and just the heavy load that's been come on, the city has taken it on as one of its primary events.
Residents say they're eager to show their love for the country.
I think we really need to celebrate Canada and what we stand for.
At a time when the trade war has been putting patriotic sentiments in sharper focus.
Given the situation with the U.S., I think the more we celebrate Canada Day, the better, and the bigger, the better.
It's great for families to get out and spend time with one another and celebrate Canada Day, right? I mean, it's our heritage.
City officials say they're just as proud to be the hosts this time.
Canada Day is very, very special to us, and that's why we'll put on our best event, is to really showcase what that means, not only on a world stage, but for us here at home.
And the planning is underway. They're putting a call out for volunteers, vendors, and sponsors.
So please, everyone who's interested, please go online and fill out the application. We'd be happy to have you join us.
A call to build the kind of celebration that will happen across the country. A sea of red and white, and communities beaming with Canadian pride. Heather Centerin, CTV News, Cambridge.
Steve Gallianos had to get just one more run in before spring really takes over Crab Mountain.
Well, I'm glad I came out. As a matter of fact, I put my skis away a week and a half ago thinking this is it, season's over.
A string of spring snowstorms last week helped to extend the season. Not just here at Crab, but mountains all across the region, including Poley Mountain in Waterville, New Brunswick, which held end-of-season festivities last week. Poley calling this past Saturday and Sunday a bonus weekend. Montfarlang in Edmonton is planning to stay open for another week. Sunday was the final day of the season at Poley, as well as Sugarloaf Provincial Park in Atholville, and here at Crab.
Bittersweet because it's my last day racing.
It was the last day, and it's going to be a long summer.
Might as well get the last couple turns in when we can, I guess.
And Jamie Wheaton did it in fashion.
On Facebook Marketplace and found this, and I'm like, this is so sweet. It's amazing. 88 Olympics, CTV getting a shout out on there.
The entire winter was amazing. We had a good amount of snow. We lost a little bit of snow, but then we got it all back. So yeah, it was really enjoyable.
It's not slushy. I've only seen like one slush, and it may even be ice.
There's actually a lot of snow, a lot more than we had last week, and it was definitely better than last year.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah.
With thoughts here already turning to next winter. Nick Bohr, CTV News on Crab Mountain.
It's been a long time since the Men's World Curling Championships have been to Saskatchewan.
I won't be able to stop smiling.
But it's a place dear to the heart of Canada coach Jeff Stoughton.
It was an experience of a lifetime. I mean, when you're playing in front of pretty well a home crowd, it was a thrill every minute. So always going to be one of my best memories ever is playing in front of the crowd here in Regina.
Got one, got two! Stoughton skipped Canada to gold in 2011 in Regina, the last time Saskatchewan hosted the best men's curlers in the world.
Brad's been 12 years between world championships. That was the same number I had, so we're sort of like, hey, let's just repeat what we did.
As the national coach for Curling Canada, Stoughton is behind the bench for Brad Jacobs this year, with the hopes of recapturing that golden moment from 14 years ago.
It's great to have Jeff with us because he remembers that Worlds very vividly, and he's already told us a little bit about his experience and how great the crowd was.
I've spent a few World Championships with him up on the bench. He doesn't get too high with the highs or too lows with the lows, and he makes sure everybody kind of keeps an even keel and focuses on the important stuff.
All these guys know what to do. They've all been here, done that. They were excited and nervous, I think, for that start of that first game, and just bringing all that wealth of experience that team has and just sort of feeding off of it from them.
Now, despite an 8-year Men's World Championship drought for the Red and White, Saskatchewan has been the scene of success for Canada. 3 times the province has previously hosted this event. Canada has won gold at 2 of them. And Jacobs and Stoughton hope to add to that total here. Donovan May, CTV News, Moose Shot.
Captain Abhijit Menon is usually too late for Goderich's top hat ceremony, but this year he made it to Goderich's port before everyone else.
My first entry into the lakes have been probably end of April, and by that time usually some ship has already come and gone. So I have never had the opportunity of having a top hat, having this interview and stuff like that. But this is amazing.
The Federal Asai is the first ship into Goderich Port, kicking off the 2025 shipping season. It's picking up 23,000 metric tons of corn and taking it to Ireland. It'll take 8 days to get there, but is still the most efficient way to move products like grain and corn from North America overseas.
It signifies the first vessel coming in of hopefully close to 200 plus or minus, which out of the Port of Goderich resonates to about 4 million tons of cargo, both combined inbound, outbound.
The Goderich port sees about 200 ships every year, and while most of them are filling up on salt from the world's largest salt mine, about 30 each year are filling up on Ontario corn and grain and taking that corn and grain all around the world.
I believe this year the ice kind of melted faster. So the seaway opened up on 22nd of March, and we were lucky enough to be in Three Rivers at that time. So we turned around, came up to pick up the first yield.
Goderich is eager to see more ships like the Federal Asai come to their port. They are currently lobbying for 11 acres of Lake Huron to be infilled to create more docks and space for products to be shipped to and from Huron County from around the globe. But today is about Captain Menon and the 94th top hat ceremony that's been a tradition in Goderich since 1932.
It really kicks off our season. Everybody's excited to have this event take place because we know that the momentum in regards to activity at the Port of Goderich from here on in through to the end of the year is really starting to ramp up.
It's a huge deal for us, and we're hoping that we can make it even bigger with a possible expansion here in the future.
In Goderich, Scott Miller, CTV News.
To start with a win.
First day of competition, and it was a big start to the Canadian Ringette Championship Games for Jillian Henderson and her team, Team O.
It's a great way to start the tournament, and it was just super exciting, like all the noise and the fans, it's awesome.
Henderson, who learned to skate at age 7, got into the game the following year and now plays defense.
You're keeping the other team from scoring, alongside the goalie, of course. I just love it because for me, stopping goals is way more fun than scoring goals.
49 teams, about 1,000 women athletes ranging from ages 15 to 19, 200 coaches and 50 officials. Coach Gordon Henderson says he hopes that they go all the way.
We've been fortunate. We've had a lot of success in the last couple of years, but I tell you, it takes a long road to get here. And persistence pays off, and I'm really proud of all these girls. I'm happy to be here, representing Ontario.
Forward Sarah Giorgetti's been playing since she was 7. Now she's at the national tournament.
Getting that first win feels great. It's such good momentum going into the rest of the week, and I'm so pumped for the rest of the games.
The game has built long-lasting friendships for the players while being able to share the same passion for the sport.
We get to play teams from all over the country. It's really exciting. Everybody has different playing styles, and it's just really intense and really fun, and like making new friends.
The event runs until April 5th with teams from right across the nation competing for national titles. The games run until April 5th at the Raphael Centre in Ottawa and the Centre Slush Puppy in Gatineau.
All right, CTV's Camille Wilson live for us tonight. Thanks so much.
Island dog owners can now sign up their canine companion in an online fundraising contest for an upcoming 2026 calendar. Now in its 5th year, Vancouver Island Dogs Calendar Contest kicked off last week. Owners can visit the contest website to enter their dogs for a chance to win a feature in the calendar's 2026 issue. The public can vote for their favorite dog at a cost of $1 per vote. At the end of the contest, the 12 top dogs will get a professional photo taken and earn the title of the Dog of the Month. All money raised goes to Operation Freedom Paws, a training facility in Fanny Bay, providing service dogs for people on Vancouver Island.
Most of the dogs are actually rescues from shelters. So these abandoned, forgotten animals actually get a job, an important job at that. Helping their handlers.
The top voted pooch will get the coveted cover as well as a weekend trip to Tofino with their humans. The contest has raised more than $160,000 since 2021.
If you want your voice heard on the future of Cowboys Park, the city's public engagement is now underway. The site, formerly known as Millennium Park, is slated to have most of its grassy area paved to accommodate a tent that will be part of a Stampede Music Festival put on by Penny Lane Entertainment. The International Blues Festival complained it can't hold its event there now on pavement, so it's moving to Confluence Park. A skate park, beach volleyball, and basketball courts will remain. You can give your input at engage.calgary.ca/Cowboys Park until April 21st.
I'm not putting any money into the States right now.
You don't have to go too far to find someone with an opinion on traveling to the U.S. right now.
Oh, we'll see how things go. Yeah.
With the tariffs and such?
Absolutely. Yep. Keep the money in Canada right now.
This traveler heads south to Montana every summer for a motorcycle trip, but not this year. With political strife between Canada and the U.S., locals are taking a stand.
My wife and I have gone to the States quite a bit over the years, but not now.
The Regina airport is still busy, but airline partners have told them U.S. flights are down, which is concerning. What the Saskatoon airport is seeing reflects that. They say they're trying to navigate these historic times. The recent escalation in trade tensions between Canada and the United States is expected to influence travel patterns between both countries. We anticipate a rise in domestic travel among Canadians, while increased interest from American visitors to Canada may also emerge in the coming months. So while travelers do have a lot of questions about the current political situation, there is still a need in our province to get away.
We're still busy, so people are still wanting this Saskatchewan, especially when it snows. They just want to go. So Mexico, Dominican, they're all happily traveling.
Alan has been in the business for almost 40 years and says she's never seen travelers steer away from the U.S. in this way.
There's maybe some changing their destination, so they will pick Europe or they will pick Canada, especially coach tours. There's lots to see in Canada.
For those who have to do business with American companies, their take is a bit different.
Yeah, I do travel quite a bit to the U.S. just because I work for a company that is based out of the U.S. I probably wouldn't travel there on vacation, though, just to try to support local.
But getting through American customs is also on this traveler's mind.
I post about Trump on all the time online, so I mean, they look at my social media and they probably would turn me away, and I just don't need to take that chance. So,
Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The city says this change will help eliminate what's known as the holiday pushback, where Monday holidays cause delays throughout the week.
We're trying to eliminate frustrations for the residents and make the whole suite of services, accessible and easy for them.
This change coincides with a new company taking over Windsor's waste collection contract. As of April 1st, Miller Waste Systems will be responsible for garbage and yard waste collection, as well as the city's new organic waste program, which launches in October.
The units that we have, all the collection units are state-of-the-art, so we'll be able to be very productive. They're outfitted with the most latest technology to be able to allow our workers to work safely and productively and make sure that we don't miss a stop.
The company has already hired 40 employees and expects to add 25 more once organic waste collection begins.
We are totally committed to building the strongest, best company in waste management in Ontario and in Canada. And we're proud to call it Canadian-owned, 100%.
Another big change, alley collection is being eliminated. Residents who used to place their garbage in the alley will now have to bring it to the front curb by 6 a.m. on their pickup day, unless specifically notified by the city.
People say things about parked cars being in the way. We are very versed with collecting around parked cars. Other areas in the city have parked cars. Other cities that, our partners at Miller Waste collect and deal with parked cars. So minor issue for us in the grand scheme of things.
The city has already sent out nearly 70,000 waste collection calendars, but if you haven't received one, you're encouraged to call 311 or check the City of Windsor's website.
This is good. I mean, waste diversion is something that's really important in the big picture. A lot of people just think about garbage pickup and recycling, but there's so much involved that we really need to have this diverted to the right places.
Chris Campbell, CTV News.
For as long as Mandy Ray Kroc can recall, the water has inspired wonder.
I just absolutely loved being underwater.
Although she grew up nowhere near the ocean, the discovery of a school library book about scuba diving was a life changer.
I'm like, there you go. I'm going to be a dive instructor.
After graduating, Mandy moved to the West Coast to teach before being introduced to free diving.
And it clicked, and animals approach you more readily. The world opened up.
And thanks to a competitive spirit, strong work ethic, and innate talent, Mandy ended up setting more than 7 world records, free diving down 136 meters. That's deeper than the height of a 43-story building.
And you're like, wow, I'm at world record depth. And then you're like, okay, got to get up. And you snap back to reality, and you start making your way back up because you're only halfway there.
Mandy's accomplishments under the sea led her to work on multiple movie projects up on the screen, like playing a pivotal role in the Oscar-winning documentary The Cove and teaching stars like Tom Cruise for this scene in Mission Impossible.
He was an amazing student. He picks up stuff like that.
But after taking time to raise her daughter, Mandy sold her business and found herself looking for a new career during the pandemic.
It was frightening to try to get back into the job market.
Employers seemed reluctant to hire a 47-year-old without a diploma, until Mandy happened upon a posting for a job that required the sort of skills you can't teach, like stepping up and staying calm during dangerous situations.
They were able to see what I could bring to the table and not dock me for being old.
And after a few years as a 911 police dispatcher, Mandy says it's proving to be just as satisfying as her work under the water.
Freediving, it was opening somebody up to the possibilities of what they can achieve. In this, it was the idea that I could make a significant difference in someone's life by bettering the outcome of a situation.
And whether you're training to be the world's best or striving to make your community safer, Mandy Ray says the key is to dive deep.
If you have a thought and you want to try something, you go full into it and it'll happen.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Courtney.